nation, which basically means we have a per capita water availability which is less than 1,700 cubic meters. And basically, it has gone down, as we all know what Bengaluru is dealing with. They have a shortage of 500 million liters of water per day. So things are going to become more tough. And in all the conversation, a lot of conversations are happening how we can improve the water uh, situation in the country. But most of the time, the conversations doesn't touch agriculture, even though agriculture uses more than 85 percentage of 85 percentage of fresh water. And traditionally, we have been resorting to irrigation techniques which are not very much water efficient. We have been using flood irrigation. We have been using all the methods that are not easy on water. And time has come that we start dealing with it with an iron fist. So when we were working on the special issue of water in agriculture, I came across a lot of people who are working for the water conservation in this in agriculture. And that actually gave me hope. And so in this webinar, I guess some of them are here. So we can hear from them what are the measures that they are doing and how can we improve it even further. So to begin with, I would like to invite Mr. Kaushal Jaiswal, MD Regulus, and he's also the President Irrigation Association of India. Welcome, sir. I hope you have joined. I can see you. Mr. Kaushal Jaiswal, are you there? I guess he's not listening. I mean, he can't hear me, or maybe he's not in front of his on the monitor. So so let's move on to Anand Zambre, sir. So you're there?
Yes, very good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. So thank you, sir, for joining us. So I'd like to ask you, you know that precision farming has the distinction of using resources optimally. And that applies to water also. So having been part of NCPAH, you have the responsibility of popularizing precision technologies and automation in agriculture. Do you think it is a feasible solution for a country like India? And if so, how far we have progressed in that area?
First of all, thank you, madam, for giving me this opportunity to interact with you and to all on this precious subject of water conservation. As far as NCPH is concerned, we are the technical support group for PDMC scheme of Government of India, per drop more crop. And today's theme for this World Water Day is Water for Peace. So we are observing many conflicts, many clashes between the countries, between the states in a country, between the districts in a state for this water because of the water scarcity and polluted water. So as far as NCPH and PDMC scheme is concerned, I'm fully sure that by adopting the micro irrigation systems like drip irrigation, like sprinkler irrigation, and automation for these systems, we can definitely save 70 to 80% of water what we are using traditionally for agriculture as on today. As far as the adoption of micro irrigation is concerned, if we see the progress of last 10 years, if I start from 2015-16 to 2019-20, we were having a target of adoption of 10 lakh hectares per year, and successfully we achieved it. So if you see the 5 years, we completed around 52 lakhs hectares in the 5 years up to 2020. Unfortunately, in during the lockdown, we could not do much, but the target was kept. Seeing the success of first 5 years, now the target is 20 lakh hectare per year. from 2021 up to 25-26. Unfortunately, we could not achieve that target every year. As on today, I can say roughly 13 lakhs to 14 lakhs per year, hectare per year, we are achieving it. And definitely, if all stakeholders, if we work hard and if we motivate, we are able to motivate the farmers, because water saving is not only the advantage of micro irrigation, but there are several other advantages: water saving, labor saving, energy saving, increasing production, increasing quality of the production. So number of advantages of there. And so I believe that if we are able to make it success every year, 20 lakhs hectare or more than that, definitely the problem of this water scarcity can be successful, and we'll be able to harvest more area. We'll be able to go for more area with the available water. Similarly, like water conservations, stopping the runoffs, going for water harvesting. As far as protected cultivation is concerned, we are harvesting the water. But in open field cultivation, we need to work hard. We need to adopt more water harvesting system, even for the ground recharge. Water harvesting is another means the application for groundwater recharge. So bringing all these technologies together, like micro irrigation, groundwater recharge, additionally water harvesting, solar operated pumps. So different systems bringing together at one field. Definitely, I think we can achieve the success in this. And I think this platform will give more and more ideas for all of us to go ahead. So thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir, for introducing us to all the achievements and everything. So, I think we can move on to Ms. Saroja Yadav. Is Saroja Yadav present here? I can't see her. Okay, now let's move on to Sandeep Jadavji, Director, WOTR.
Hey, good morning, Anjana.
Good morning. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much for inviting us to this particular webinar. Yeah, please.
Thank you. Sir, I think WTOR has been established, I think, in 1993. So, your unique approach to is, I think, ecosystem-based approach, isn't it, sir?
Right.
So, can you just shed something about this technique and how this is resulting in water conservation and poverty alleviation?
Okay, so am I allowed to make some slide presentations, if you allow me?
Yes, about 5. If it takes about 5 minutes, that's fine, sir.
Okay. See, you asked for ecosystem-based adaptation approach that we have taken recently. That I will come to, but I wanted to focus on water first, if you allow me to do that. The pani, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I'll also take a chance to, what do you say, present one slide on what we do, basically. And I'll take maybe 2 to 3 minutes overall, altogether, if you are okay with it. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir, we can see your screen.
Yeah. So this is what is our extent of work that we have been doing since 1993, as you mentioned, in the last 30 years. We're actually celebrating 30th of year. We're actually working with around 7,000 plus villages altogether. And in terms of landscape development treatments, we have covered so far 2.5 million hectares across these 10 states altogether. And as you have mentioned, we focus on basically land and water management, the demand and supply, both sides, and if you look at our idea of root causes of poverty, and then we believe this, that the first and foremost component of a life of a farmer is ecosystems, which based on which their life actually sustains. And ecosystem degradation is one of the factor which is affecting their livelihood. And when I say ecosystems services, which is contributing 57% of their income for this rural poor, these are mostly degraded. And it is specifically true in the rain-fed zones, where rains are very limited, maybe around 500 millimeters or 700 millimeters, like that. And in turn, the soils also have been very poor. Soil organic carbon has gone down even below 0.3%, which has to be more than 1% in a standard norm. And then the second important aspect of poverty is low agriculture productivity. And this is again to do with what is a crop yields and rain-fed regions where sufficient irrigation facilities are not available, and people are largely dependent on rains to grow the crops. Third one is over dependence on agriculture. So many people, about 58% of India is still dependent on agriculture and allied sectors like livestock and other parts of it. And about 85% of these farmers are small and marginal farmers with less than 2 hectares of land, So that again aggravates the limited sources for sustenance in the rural areas. And lastly, but not the least, is the variation in rainfall that is happening nowadays. Like you see, there are torrential rain at once, and there are large span of no rain at all, 2 to 3 weeks, 4 weeks, sometimes there is no rain. So drought-like situation, which is currently in Maharashtra. If you look at thousands of villages are already facing even the problem of drinking water. Forget about the water for irrigation. So, and then temperature increases. We have seen that the temperatures on the ground, the basically land temperature, surface temperature has gone up quite tremendously in the rural areas. If you look at these four reasons, the first thing that come to everybody's mind is like, let's do a land and water management practice. And all these are known treatments where you try to arrest water everywhere. Wherever there is a rain falling, all like from the rich to valley, we do treatments like contour trenches or water absorption trenches or farm bunding or structures to harvest the water like check dams, nala bands, maybe promotion of pasture lands, horticulture, promotion of forestry plantation. All these things are known. I am not going to focus on that, but the most part, which is largely ignored, is basically the other side, the demand side management, wherein water is basically focusing on water budgeting. Like people in the rural areas are learning how to budget water. What is the inflow of water in terms of rain, in terms of soil moisture, in terms of water available for irrigation through structures and other means. And then how are we utilizing it? Like we have a limited water, then how do you utilize it for kharif crops and how do you utilize for rabi and maybe summer if at all, if there is a what is a chance for doing it. And also we are actually teaching people how to monitor the groundwater. Like they should also monitor the groundwater, which is the major source of irrigation for a large scale of agriculture basically. And adoption of water efficient system, which Anand was already talking about, water governance and other part. Governance is very important, where people need to come together, form institution which can handle these water budgeting issues and crop planning issues, and also look at uh, following it up at the Gram Sabha level. If you look at this, okay, these are some of the pictures you see. We are actually trying to help farmers to monitor the aquifers below the ground level. Unless people understand water is a common commodity, and this should be used by people as a common commodity, not by the people who have the resources to draw the water and then use it for their own self, rather than for the community as a whole. We are trying to push this idea of governance of aquifer as a community. And I will be actually focusing on this part where we are talking about water governance standards. The purpose is actually, this is a rating and certification tool which makes water everybody's business. Like how do they recognize that water is not a single family's business or not even a single village business? It has to be a cluster level business for the aquifer level business. And this tool has been developed by water and being practiced in several villages, several hundred villages in Maharashtra and Jharkhand, where the purpose is to participatory assess the quality of water management governance in the community against the defined parameters, and then also provide graduated pathways for communities to improve the overall quality of water management. And also providing investors, whoever want to come and invest in these villages on the water or other sectors, to identify opportunities and projects that are likely to be successful. So we have to actually, we are also trying to find the low hanging fruits wherein investments can go in. And lastly, to provide the comprehensive framework to monitor, improve, and evaluate water projects. And then this rating tool can be used by rural communities themselves, investors, donors, social impact funds, NGOs, researchers, as well as evaluators. And there are four modules in that basically: governance and institutions, supply side water management, demand side water management, and sustainability and equity. So there are ratings given, and accordingly we give them platinum award, gold award, silver, or bronze award. And sometimes you can also say you're not cannot be certified because of certain reasons, because you're not following a certain criteria. When it comes to ecosystems, I'll just take 1 minute on that. Okay, so this is one slide that I wanted to present as a response to what you are asking, is the approach that we are following. Can you see my slide?
Yes, we can.
This is EBA slide, you're right?
Water governance standard. That is
Oh,
what we
sorry. Then maybe I'll stop sharing and just talk.
Okay.
So what I'm talking is basically ecosystem-based adaptation approach to nature-based solutions. And we look at it in a three-pronged approach. One is basically healthy ecosystem services and biodiversity. Like if you're talking of, as I already talked about, basically, the agriculture is largely dependent on the production factors like water, soil, surrounding forestry or surrounding pasture lands, because livestock also is a basic or secondary income source for the families. And basically the air quality and soil quality, and then health of the people themselves. So we are talking about healthy ecosystem services and biodiversity within that. We are not supporting for monocropping or monoculture in any of these forms. So diversity in agriculture, diversity in forestry, diversity in how the technology is being used has to be addressed. That is the first part. Second part is people adapting to the climate change. Like there are variations in rain, temperature, humidity, and other factors which are directly affecting on the crop health and soil health. We need to actually train people on adopting these changes and make technology adoption so that the adoption of changing climate can become easy for them. And third, very important part is inclusive participatory governance, where people come together for themselves and address, because as your theme also says that unless stakeholders come together and take charge of the things in their hand, it cannot be really governed. So unless one village or maybe surrounding village come together and take a participatory governance of these resources together, it cannot be really followed. So this is what basically we are talking about EBA, nature-based solutions for EBA, right? I hope I could address your query, Anjana.
Yes, you have, sir. You have.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for giving us a different perspective. That water is not. It should be based on. It should be based on community approach, and that is actually reaping a lot of good results. Not only with your association, but we have some others who have also come, who will be discussing on the same, on a different model, but on the same principle.
Thank you.
And thank you for the good talk. And I would like to invite now Mr. Kaushal Jaiswal, MD Rivulis and President Irrigation Association of India. So, sir, what is your take, and how do you address the water conservation issues in agriculture?
Thank you, Anjana, firstly for having me here, and sorry for this technical glitch which happened. But and all is well when it ends well. That's perfectly all right. When I joined, I think Mr. Jamre was talking, and then Mr. Sandeep Jadhav gave a wonderful presentation. Look, we all know the water is a problem now in this country, right? And not even in this country, the globally also. It's not an infinite resource, it's a finite resource, and we know for sure now. But still the biggest challenge is about the technology adoption, which is at a much slower pace. You know for sure that we know that the irrigation efficiency and the water use efficiency and water productivity, we all talk about that, and I need not to elaborate here on all those aspects of the. Despite having the knockdown effect, we all know for sure that the micro irrigation is a solution for a better irrigation efficiency, for the better water productivity. But despite having all those, which is known to everyone, the challenge not only in India, is a global challenge. If I give you the global numbers, so every time we should not be blaming ourselves in India that we are poor in adoption. It's not that. Globally also, the out of total irrigated agriculture, only 7% is through the drip irrigation systems. Only 7% of the total irrigation which happens globally is through drip irrigation. Around 22% is through sprinklers and micro sprinklers and the portable sprinklers, rain guns, other methods of the micro irrigation or pivot systems. And rest 70% of the irrigation globally is still happening by the flooding methods. So first and foremost question should come to anyone's mind, why this adoption is slow? There must be some solid reason for that. And as an scientist, as an academician, as an industry, we are not able to resolve those problems. We are not able to solve that problem. And I want to highlight that. What are those problems? According to our studies, according to my wisdom, there are three basic problems in the drip irrigation adoption, which the globe is facing. One, the complexity of the system itself is a huge challenge. It's not a plug and play system. It's not that farmer goes and buys the irrigation system and start connect it to the water source and start using that. You need an hydraulic designing. You need an installation of the system, and someone will have to go and do that for the farmer. Farmer cannot do it himself. So this is a complex system. Is not an issue, and it's not a maintenance free system. You need a regular maintenance. You need there are regular wear and tear. Somebody will have to go and repair that. Somebody will have to go and change those parts, so that ecosystem is now also fully developed in barring few countries. Let's keep Israel apart, because number one is a small country. Number two, that ecosystem has already been evolved there. The rest of the countries are still struggling to do that. Second part is the cost. The initial cost of for the adoption of the micro irrigation system is very, very high. It's not a small amount. If I give you in context for others to understand it, in India, if you go with the BIS standards and want to adopt a system which is maybe 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, or 10 years, long-lasting system which can remain there into the farms, the initial cost of a system is approximately ranging between 1,25,000 to 1,50,000, depending on the crop which you are growing and the spacing on which you want to put the drippers in per hectare. So 1,50,000 rupees, or approximately $1,700-$1,800 or $1,900 per hectare is a huge cost for the farmer in any country. It's not only in India. So how to bring the cost down, how to remove those complexities. And then third one is return on investment. All said and done, the farming is a business. There has to be a tangible benefits shown to the farmers for going for this adoption. So these are the three basic challenges which we need to address once we really want it to get adopted by the farmers. It's very easy to blame farmers. Farmers are not adopting. Farmers are not adopting. The farmers will never adopt it until unless ease of adoption is there, affordable cost is there, and there has to be tangible benefits shown to them. Every time we talk to the farmer and start saying that, look, you will be saving on the water. Water is free in India. Why should anybody be bothered about saving the water in India? He is not even paying the subsidized electricity to extract the water from the ground level water. Why should he be bothered about that? Until unless then we go and say that you will be saving the fertilizers, you will be saving the labor cost, you will be saving electricity is more in most of the cases is free. Now the government is subsidizing the solar pumps, which is even free. Go and extract how much water you want to extract, do it. Who is stopping you? because the solar pumps are being subsidized by the government of India. So there has to be convergence of different schemes of the government. If someone is doing the solar pump, I think it has to be made mandatory that it will be used for only the drip irrigation, not for the flooding of the water. So there has to be some convergence, some rationale about that. And third one is, what is the return of investment? If someone is investing 1,50,000 rupees, in how much time can he recover that investment by growing the crops which he has been growing and making maybe more yield and maybe better quality and better savings in terms of the fertilizers, labor, herbicide applications. So if that is a tangible and if the money is recovered in 2 or 3 years time frame, then maybe the people will come forward. But still, it is a challenge where somebody will have to arrange a low cost financing for the farmers to adopt the technology, which is not available. Why the low cost financing is not available? Because some of the banks and most of the commercial banks stay away from the financing the drip irrigation system, because there is nothing called collaterals when you are financing a drip irrigation system. It's not a farm machine, it's not a tractor, it's not anything else where you can mortgage the machine or the tractor. Once the drip pipes are laid into the field, there is nothing to mortgage. So we'll have to work out in the creating the complete ecosystem for this technology to get adopted. So these are the challenges. Yes, there has been a government support, no doubt about that, but government cannot support unlimited. There are the limitations for the government also for this to support it. They can support not all the farmers. So we'll have to create an ecosystem outside the government subsidies for the better adoption of this system. These are few points. Every time we keep talking about China, we are very fascinated that we compare ourselves with the China. I'm not comparing ourselves with Israel, I'm comparing ourselves with the China. China has a number one lesser landmass than India, agricultural landmass. They still produce 550 million tons of the food grains. India produces 330 or 340 million tons. Latest estimate will come. India consumes almost 600 BCM water to produce 330 and 335 million tons of the food grain. Even if I add horticulture, is around 600 million tons of the horticulture and the cereals put together. China consumes half of the water. They consume, instead of 600 BCM, which India consumes, China consumes around 380, 390 BCM water to produce 550 million tons of the food grains. So China consumes 40-50% lesser water to almost produce 70% more food than India. So we really need to learn from them. Even the drip irrigation technology is not fully adopted there. Still, they are using a very rationally the water use in China. So let's understand it. It's not only the drip irrigation or the sprinkler irrigation. There may be other methods where we can save waters by using furrow methods, alternate wet and drying. So not necessarily everyone start using drip irrigation, but there are other methods where the irrigation efficiencies can be increased. Let's start working on all those, which is the better adoption, and hopefully we will see a better future. These are my takes, Anjana.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that valuable inputs. As you said, farming is a business, and the farmer should know that not only he can save water, which is probably not as the biggest priority for him, but he'll get something out of it in terms of income or in terms of labor saving. So, and also an ecosystem outside the government based thing to promote drip irrigation or or other water saving measures of irrigation. It was some very good points sir have put forward. And now we have Ajal Saheli with us. She's actually a woman of grit and determination. Her name is Lakshmi Kushwaha, and she belongs to Bahira village of Niwari district of Madhya Pradesh. She was married off at a very young age of 17. She became a mother a year later, and her child passed away, but she continued her studies. And currently, she's doing MSW. She became a Jal Saheli with Parmat and committed to water conservation and river rejuvenation issues. She has mobilized people to take collective efforts. Shrabdan for plantation, cleaning of streets and drains. Today, everyone in her village knows about her work and commitment, and she is a role model for other women. So I welcome Lakshmi Kushwaha. Welcome, Lakshmi.
नमस्ते।
नमस्ते। बताइए।
मेरा नाम लक्ष्मी कुशवाहा है और मैं ग्राम बहेरा निवाड़ी जिला से हूँ और परमात्मा 1 साल से जल सहेली हूँ और मैं पानी को बचाने पर कार्य कर रही हूँ और अपने गांव में लोगों को समझाती हूँ कि पानी हमारे लिए कितना अनमोल है, उसे बचाना चाहिए और जैविक खेती को लेकर भी मैं काम कर रही हूँ। जैविक खेती में मैं जो अपना खाद बनाती हूँ, घनजीवा जीवामृत डाल के खेती करती हूँ, उसमें अभी मैं 1 बीघा में कर रही हूँ। उससे देखना चाहती हूँ कि कितना लाभ और हमें कितनी हानि होती है, क्योंकि जब हम जैविक खेती करते हैं तो उसमें अभी हमारी धरती पूरी तरह से जैविक नहीं हुई तो बहुत कम होता है। अभी हम 2 साल से कर रहे हैं तो अभी कम उत्पादन आता है और घनजीवा जीवामृत बनाकर खेती करते हैं। और इसके लिए हम गांव में भी अपनी महिलाओं को और भी अपना संगठन बनाया है, उसमें भी समझाते हैं तो और भी हमारे साथ महिलाएं खेती करना स्टार्ट कर रही हैं। अभी जैविक खेती में उतना तो रासायनिक खेती के बराबर लाभ नहीं आया, लेकिन इसमें जो है कि जो उससे नाज उत्पादन होता है तो उसको खाने में भी स्वाद आता है और उससे खाने में हमें कोई परेशानी नहीं होती है। और पानी को लेकर हमारे गांव में एक नैना नदी निकली है जो कि पूरे 12 माह नहीं बहती है। तो हमने वहां पर चेक डैम बने थे, तो वहां जब सरपंच ने वहां पर गेट वगैरह तो लगवाए नहीं थे, सिर्फ चेक डैम बनवा दिए, गेट बनाकर ऐसे ही छोड़ दिए तो पानी निकल जाता है। हमने कई बार बोरी बंधान भी किया तो वो भी लोग बाग जिनके पास में खेत होते थे तो वो बोलते थे कि हमारे खेत डूब जाएंगे, आप लोग ये बोरी बोरी लगा रही। तो फिर हम सब ने मिलकर अपने संगठन ने एक संस्था है उससे बोला, वो बोली कि अगर आप लोग चाहो तो हम आपके यहाँ गेट भी लगवा सकते हैं। तो हम सब महिलाओं ने मिलकर सरपंच से एनओसी ली, सरपंच को बताया कि हम ऐसा करवाना चाहते हैं तो सरपंच ने हाँ कर दी। फिर हम लोगों ने 2 चेक डैम में अपने वहां पर गेट लगवाए, तो अभी देख सकते हैं कि वहां पर अब साल भर पानी रहता है। हमारे वहां जो आसपास किसानों के खेतों में पानी नहीं पहुंचता था, अब वो डायरेक्ट भी लेते हैं और पास में जो कुआं है वो रिचार्ज भी होते हैं उनसे, तो खेती भी होने लगी है अच्छे से। बहुत अच्छा फायदा हुआ है, आसपास 1 किलोमीटर तक के रिचार्ज होते हैं, हमारे बोर हैं, कुआं है, बहुत अच्छा प्रभाव आया है उससे। और हम परमात्मा के साथ जुड़कर भी हम लोग पूरी अपनी नैना नदी को जीवित करना चाहते हैं, उसी के उसमें लगे हैं। जल चौपाल, पंचायत मीटिंग इसमें और सरपंच के साथ भी और जो भी उसमें चेक डैम वगैरह तो ग्राम सभा में भी जाते हैं। जो भी पानी के ऊपर काम होता है हम सब लोग मिलकर प्रस्ताव डालते हैं पानी के लिए। इस तरह से हम अपने संस्था के मिलकर अपने गांव में बदलाव लाना चाहते हैं।
आप बहुत अच्छा काम कर रही है लक्ष्मी। और आपके साथ सरोजा जी भी है, सरोजा यादव।
हाँ है इसके लिए।
हाँ हाँ, तो आप भी बताइए कि आपका परमात्मा के साथ आप कैसे जुड़े और पानी में आप क्या क्या काम कर रहे हैं पानी को बचाने के लिए।
नमस्ते मैम,
नमस्ते।
मेरा नाम सरोज यादव है। मैं बड़ा मलहरा ब्लॉक से हूँ और डिस्ट्रिक्ट छतरपुर से हूँ। मैं पहले तो हम गांव से हैं तो इतने जागरूक नहीं थे, और फिर हमारे यहाँ परमार्थ संस्था पहुंची तो बोला कि जल और स्वच्छता को लेकर काम करना पड़ेगा। तो मैं पहले हमारे यहाँ पाइपलाइन बिछी थी लेकिन पानी नहीं आ रहा था, तो मैंने सोचा पहले तो अगर स्वच्छता के लिए किसी से बोलेंगे, शौचालय यूज करने के लिए बोलेंगे तो मैम सब लोग यही कहेंगे कि पीने को तो पानी नहीं है, शौचालय कहाँ से यूज करें। पहले तो सब लोग खुले में ही शौच करते थे, तो परमार्थ संस्था की और अपने गांव वालों की मदद से पहले तो मैंने मैम अपने गांव में पाइपलाइन चालू करवाई और घर घर पानी पहुंचाया। इसके बाद जो शौचालय किसी के कंडे लकड़ियां कुछ भी पड़ा रहता था, कोई कंडे रखता था, कोई लकड़ी शौचालय में इस्तेमाल ही नहीं करता था, तो फिर उनको भी निकलवाया और कम से कम 30 से 40 घरों में शौचालय यूज करने लगे हैं, लगभग सभी लोग करने लगे हैं। और पाइपलाइन का पानी भी आ रहा है, तो उसके लिए हम लोगों ने सोख्ता गड्ढे बनाए हैं और उसी से किचन गार्डन भी लगाए। और किचन गार्डन में सब्जी लगाए तो फिर हम लोग बाजार भी नहीं जाते हैं, सब वहीं से अपने अपने घर से सब्जी उपलब्ध करते हैं। और मैम हम लोगों ने, हमारे वहाँ एक पनियारी नदी है, तो उसके भी 20 सालों से मैम चेक डैम के गेट वेट नहीं थे, वो निकाल लिए गए थे, किसी ने अपने भुसा के घर में, किसी ने कहीं लगा लिए थे। तो परमार्थ संस्था की जागरूकता के कारण हम लोगों ने वो चेक डैम के गेट सभी के यहाँ से निकलवाए मैम। वो 20 साल तक तो हम लोगों को पता ही नहीं था, 20 साल से, कि कहाँ है कहाँ नहीं है। फिर जैसे ही हम लोगों को पता चला तो निकलवाए और चेक डैम में लगवाए, और हम लोगों ने 30 से 40 बहनों ने वहां पर श्रमदान किया, पूरे 15 दिन बोरी बंधन किया। और अब हमारे वहाँ पनियारी नदी में बहुत पानी है, और अभी हम लोगों ने खाने के लिए गेहूं भी बोए थे, सरसों भी बोई थी, जवा भी बोए थे, और अभी भी मैम जानवरों के लिए उसमें पानी है। और मैम मेरा गांव इतना मॉडल, इतना स्वच्छ बन गया है परमार्थ संस्था की वजह से, कि आज बामन डिस्ट्रिक्ट में आप मेरे सैनपुरी गांव को यूट्यूब पर भी सर्च करके देख सकते हैं। तो मैम मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा कि मैं परमार्थ संस्था से जुड़ी और मैं अपने गांव में और अपने गांव के लिए कुछ कर पाई हूँ। और मैम अभी हम लोगों ने कम पानी वाली फसलें भी बोई थी, जैसे सरसों, चना और किसी खाने के योग्य भी बोई थी, तो हम लोगों के लिए पानी भी हो गया। और जो आसपास वाले खेत थे, तो वो पहले पलायन के लिए जाते थे मैम, वो पानी नहीं था तो कहीं से ना कहीं से कुछ तो करना ही पड़ता था। लेकिन अब इस साल हमारे यहाँ पलायन को कोई नहीं गया है मैम, सब लोगों के लिए वहीं से अनाज हो गया है। और पानी के जो लड़कियां पानी भरती थी पूरा दिन, अब वो भी स्कूल अच्छे से जाने लगी हैं, और हम लोगों को भी, दीदियों को भी बैठने का समय मिल जाता है, नहीं तो पूरा दिन पानी में ही निकल जाता। बहुत दूर था पानी, कम से कम, और एक हैंडपंप था, तो जब हम भर लेते थे तो 10 दीदी जो हमसे पीछे पहुंच पाता था पानी, तो आधे से ज्यादा समय तो हम लोगों का पहले पानी में ही निकल जाता था। और हम लोगों की बच्चियां भी एक दिन स्कूल गई तो 2 दिन नहीं जा पाई, क्योंकि मैं, पानी के बिना तो हम कुछ कर ही नहीं सकते, जल है तो जीवन है। तो बच्चों को भी बोलते थे, लड़कियों को, कि बेटा आज स्कूल ना जाओ, आज आप पानी भर लो तो हम ऐसा काम देख लेंगे। और मैम इस समय तो जब हमारे बच्चों का पेपर का समय आता था, तो रात में भी हम लोगों को पानी भरना पड़ता था, क्योंकि कटाई का भी समय आ जाता था और बच्चों के पेपर का भी समय आ जाता था। तो मैम पहले तो हम लोग बहुत परेशान थे, लेकिन अब हम बहुत खुशहाल हैं। और अब हमें परमार्थ संस्था ने इतना जागरूक किया है, इतना कुछ कर पाए हम लोग अपने लिए, कि अब बहुत अच्छे से रह रहे हैं। और जो हम लोगों के बाजार में सब्जी में पैसे खर्च होते थे, वो भी हमारे बच्चों के लिए बचने लगे हैं, तो उन्हें कपड़ा वगैरह, कोचिंग वगैरह कराने लगे हैं। और गांव मेरा छोटा सा है, फिर भी बहुत अच्छा है। और अब तो बहुत बहुत से दूर से गांव देखने भी आने लगे हैं लोग, विजिट करने आने लगे हैं, बोल रहे हैं कि परमार्थ की वजह से जो गांव मॉडल हुआ है उसे हम भी देखना चाहते हैं। तो मैम बहुत जगह से लोग आने लगे हैं, तो बहुत अच्छा लगने लगा है कि कम से कम परमार्थ संस्था आई और हम लोग अपने लिए कुछ कर पाए हैं। और अभी मैम हम लोगों ने ये सोचा है कि उस नदी में फिर से श्रमदान करेंगे, थोड़ा हम लोगों की फसलें कट जाएं तो आगे और ज्यादा पानी उसमें रुकेगा। तो हम लोगों ने अभी यही सोचा है। और मैम वो नाड़े भी बनवा लिए हमने अपने गांव में, तो उसमें कचरा डालने लगे हैं, और कचरा यहाँ वहाँ कहीं नहीं डालते हैं। अब हमारे वहाँ लगभग सभी सुविधाएं हो गई हैं।
जल को बचाते ही आपका जीवन ही बदल गया।
हाँ मैम, जल है तो जीवन है, हम तो यही समझते हैं, जल के बिना कुछ नहीं है, जल से
थैंक यू
सब कुछ।
सरोजा जी। शुक्रिया शुक्रिया, आपने
थैंक यू।
आपने हमको भी एक अच्छा पार्ट दिया है कि हम लोग तो सिटी में रहते हैं, हम लोग पानी का कुछ ज्यादा रेस्पेक्ट नहीं करते हैं, लेकिन जिस तरीके से आपका जो गांव है बदल गया है पानी की वजह से, अच्छी बात है। आज आपको पता है आज वर्ल्ड वाटर डे है।
हाँ हाँ
जहाँ
मैम, और
अच्छा, तो इसीलिए हमने वेबिनार रखा, तो आपकी कहानी तो सुननी ही पड़ेगी हमें। थैंक यू। आप लोग जो कर रहे हैं बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हैं, आगे भी ऐसे ही करते रहे। थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू मैम।
We have Mr. Biplab Paul. He's the co-founder, director, narrator services. Sir, we would like to know about Bungru, which I have read about, and I believe that it's an innovative and sustainable agriculture technology developed to combat water scarcity in arid regions, and it involves a groundwater recharge system. So far in agriculture and all that, we resort to surface water for most of the irrigation. So how are you recharging the groundwater?
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk and to be in this august audience. Can I speak in Hindi?
Sure, sir. Any language, Hindi or English, no problem.
क्योंकि जो मेरे पहले जो मैडम ने बताए, उन्होंने परमार्थ है, WTR है, पानी फाउंडेशन है, इन्होंने बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहा है। तो मुझे लगता है कि हिंदी में बोले तो अच्छा रहेगा। थोड़ा बहुत इंग्लिश आता है मुझे, लेकिन हिंदी इज बेटर है, क्योंकि मैं बंगाली, मुझे हिंदी आती नहीं है, तो हिंदी सीखने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ। तो आपका प्रश्न ये था कि सरफेस लेवल में सबने सोल्यूशन की बात की, तो अंडरग्राउंड में हम लोगों ने क्या सोल्यूशन मांगा व क्या सोल्यूशन बनाया? कुछ नहीं बनाया, कुछ नहीं बनाया। सिंपल सी मुद्दा ये है, धरती माता को प्रणाम करो और उनके पास से नॉलेज लो, और नॉलेज को आगे चलते लेके जाओ। धरती माता इज ए लेडी, शी इज ए मदर। सो एवरी मदर कंपेयर टू वी गाइस, हम लोग जो पुरुष है, हमारे पास औकात नहीं है, कैपेसिटी नहीं है, लेकिन एक हर महिला के पास एक कैपेसिटी है। वो दुनिया में एक नया जीवन लेके आते हैं, जो हम लोग कभी नहीं ला पाते हैं। उनकी जो 9 मंथ की जो एफर्ट है, उसी तरीके से धरती माता ने उनकी जो बॉडी है, उनके अंदर हम सबके लिए पानी भर के रखे थे, और रखे भी है। लेकिन हम लोग तो बोर बना के वो पानी चूसते गए, पानी चूसते गए, पानी चूसते गए, और धरती माता का कोख से पानी खत्म कर दिया। तो मुद्दा ये है कि हर इंसान, हर महिलाओं की अंदर जो ताकत है, धरती माता के अंदर है, उनको पहचानो। उनके जमीन के अंदर जहां पे पानी मूवमेंट करने का जगह है, वह खाली जगह है, उनको ढूंढ के निकालो। उस जगह पे अगर पानी जा सकता है, किस तरह से जा सकते हैं, उसको डिजाइनिंग करो। टेक्निकली भाषा में बोला तो मॉडलिंग करो। फिर उस जगह पे पानी आप लेके जाओ, लेकिन जाने से पहले देखना पड़ेगा वो पानी वहां पे जाने के बाद किस तरह से मूव करेगा। उस जगह पे पानी रुकेगा कि नहीं, रुकेगा तो कितने दिन तक रुकेगा, रुकने के बाद क्या क्वालिटी होगा उनका, और फिर वो पानी हम लोग वापस ले सकते हैं कि नहीं। ये जो पूरा पद्धति है, वो पद्धति का नाम है घुंघरू। सिंपल भाषा में, एकदम सिंपल भाषा में, अर्थात आपका जमीन के अंदर जिस जगह पे सरफेस वाटर को फिल्टर करके स्टोर करने का अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलता है, और वो करते हुए जगह पे वो पानी रुकता है, और फिर उस जगह से रिट्रीव हो सकता है, उसको हम लोग घुंघरू के डिजाइन के अंदर तब्दील किया। दैट इज पॉइंट नंबर 1। तो आपका सेकंड प्रश्न होगा कि विप्लव जी, जैसे मैं अलग अलग इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज में, इंस्टीट्यूट में पढ़ाता हूँ, किस प्रिंसिपल के ऊपर काम करता है? दैट इज सिंपल भाषा में, तो 3 प्रिंसिपल पर काम करता है वो। एक है ASR, दूसरा MAR, तीसरा है VD। थोड़ा टेक्निकल है, माफ कर दीजिए, थोड़ा सिंपल भाषा में समझने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ। छोटे उम्र में मैं बंगाल का गाँव का लड़का, एवरेज मिडिल क्लास का लड़का था। मम्मी खिचड़ी बनाती थी, तो खिचड़ी बनाती है तो ऊपर से घी डाल देती थी, तो खिचड़ी को वो घी फ्लोट करता है, क्योंकि खिचड़ी का जो पानी है वो ठीक है, और घी जो है उसका लोअर डेंसिटी है। वही प्रिंसिपल नमकीन वाला जो सलाइन विस्तर जो है, हाई डेंसिटी जो वाटर जमीन के नीचे है, उस जगह पे आप ASR के तहत भारी पानी के ऊपर हल्का पानी फ्लोट कर दीजिए। सिंपल, एकदम सिंपल है, वो कर ही सकते हैं। तो हम लोग खिचड़ी प्रिंसिपल के तहत हमारा महिला मंडल के किसानों को ये चीज सिखाया, और ये काम हो रहा है। दूसरा MARR, मैनेज एक्वीफर रिचार्ज एंड रिकवरी। इसका क्या हुआ? जमीन के नीचे पानी तो है ही नहीं, लेकिन जमीन के नीचे छेद है, पत्थर है, बड़ा बड़ा छेद है। तो छेद जो है, उसका जो आप फ्रैक्चर हमारे भाषा में टेक्निकल फ्रैक्चर बोला जाता है, सिंपल भाषा में छेद बोलो, गाँव का हम लोग सिखाते हैं। उसको हम लोग मैपिंग कर लो, कितने डेप्थ में है, कितने डायरेक्शन में है, उसके अंदर कॉन्फाइंड है क्या, नहीं सीधा है कि खुला है, एक साथ दो चार जुड़ा हुआ है कि नहीं, उसके साथ क्या क्या सोल्यूशन हो सकता है, उसमें जाकर पानी जा सकता है कि जाएगा तो कितने जल्दी जा सकता है, किस तरह से छेद हो सकता है, उसका एंगुलर मोमेंटम क्या है, उसके अंदर पानी कैसे मूव कर सकता है, वो अगर हम लोग मैपिंग कर लिया तो पत्थर के अंदर पानी डाल दो, सिंपल सी बात है, वो कर दिया। थर्ड जो है उसका नाम है वर्टिकल ड्रेनेज। इसका बांग्लादेश में हम लोग कर रहे हैं, वियतनाम में कर रहे हैं, अफ्रीका में कर रहे हैं। तो हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं कि जहां पे आपका पता है कि अचानक बारिश आएगा तो ये लो लाइंग एरिया है, यहाँ पे बहुत सारा पानी एक साथ आ जाएगा, तो उस जगह पे अगर नीचे पे अनसैचुरेटेड जोन, अगर जहाँ पे पानी हम फिल्टर करके ले जा सकते हैं, तो पूरा जगह का ऊपर का, जमीन के ऊपर का मान लीजिए आपका 10 फुट पानी है फ्लैट के अंदर, उसको हम उतर के अगर 7 फीट भी उतर दिया तो आपको 3 फीट पानी में लोग नहीं मरेगा, जानवर नहीं मरेगा, हमको उतना ही चाहिए। तो वर्टिकल ड्रेनेज के सिस्टम के अंदर हम लोग ये काम करते हैं। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन।
So what is the meaning of bungru?
भुंगरू एक गुजराती शब्द है, उसका मीनिंग हॉलो पाइप, खुली पाइप जो होती है ना, उसको फूंकदानी होता है ना, हमारा गांव में महिला जो चूल्हा में खाना बनाते हैं, फूंकदानी होता है, फू मार के आग जलता रहता है तो खाना बनता रहता है। अभी तो उजाला उजाला स्कीम में घर घर पे गैस आता है, तब तो गैस नहीं था जब हम लोग काम शुरू किए थे, 30 साल पहले की बात है। तो वो जो फूंकदानी है छोटा सा 1 फीट से 1.5 फीट का होता है, लेकिन वो फूंक मारता है तो उनका घर पे चूल्हा जलता है, तो वही जो वो है उसका नाम गुजराती में भुंगरू बोलता है। तो उसी के नाम पे हम लोग ये भुंगरू का नाम दिया, ब्रांडिंग किया, सब पेटेंट भी सब कुछ लिया। उसका अर्थ यह है कि वो हॉलो पाइप से महिलाएं इस्तेमाल करते हैं और कोई इस्तेमाल नहीं करेगा, कि उनके लिए ईगो हो जाता है जेंट्स के लिए। तो महिलाओं के लिए मोहल्ला दारा फूड सिक्योरिटी एंड डिग्निटी का परचेज टूल है, दैट इज भुंगरू।
Thank you, sir. Thank you for enlightening us with a new technology, something which we were not aware of. And thank you for sharing that knowledge with us. And thank you for being here.
Can I have another 1 minute?
Sure, sure, please.
Okay, so now I'll speak in English, so that will be easier for them to understand also if they don't know Hindi. So Bhungru is effort by 17 to 20 years in the grassroots, and then it's got developed. But that's not the issue. Issue is not Bhungru, because it's a World Water Day, and what we are doing now, we are creating the whole process of bottom-up climate leadership among the women farmers. Paramath is doing, I also shared with them also many a time, the whole processes. WOTR is the best in the domain. They have done for the excellent work, the documentation of the research. So what is the next phase? Now, if you're talking of World Water Day, so you have to think of positive, you have to think for longer term vision, or you have to find a solution which can be sustainable, economically viable, and scalable. So now what we are doing, we are now across India. We are now part of NRLM, National Rural Livelihood Mission, Government of India, as well as we are part of the United Nations and World Bank and Prime Minister's Committee of South-South Technology Transfer. So we are now creating a workforce of team across India from any language, any religion, any education level, and nurturing them to be the climate leader. So both youth and women. And then we are replicating the whole model in a sustainable financing business plan based model across Africa, Latin America, Southeast Asia, and East Asia. We are now in 18 countries over there. So what is this? Now, these women members who are in this meeting, like Paramath and other organizations, we love to handhold them and create an integrated solution for a business model-based water services. Because if you see, he explained that water is free, so there is no business model around it, there is no financial modeling around it. We have created a financial model how water accessibility, water utility, and water services can be coupled with the business model for the unschooled ultra poor women and youth farmer, and they can extend the services at the doorstep of the farmer with a price, and that is also very uniquely defined on the Islamic financing model or the non-interest based financing model. So anybody who is interested, जिसको भी इसमें कोई interest है, जिसको भी जानना जरूरत है, always welcome. I have given my detail in the chat. You can contact me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now I'd like to talk about a startup, I would say, AgriRain. So this was actually founded by Mr. Srinivas Malladi. He's the CEO of AgriRay. He had actually come up with an innovative model of irrigation as a service, because we have already heard how irrigation was not the modern methods of irrigation, or even the sustainable, efficient way of irrigation is not a profitable way for the farmers. And some smallholder farmers, they can't access irrigation. So here he's suggesting as irrigation as a service model. And I guess it's probably a new way of looking at irrigation. So here we have Suma Joshi to speak about AgriRain. Suma, welcome.
Hi, Angela.
Hi.
Thank you for this opportunity to speak about AgriRain on this occasion of World Water Day. So, as you rightly said, we are the first global irrigation as a service company, pay-per-use model that we started off in India in 2017. And I would like to take off from where Kaushal had, spoken about how the challenges are affecting the adoption of micro irrigation practices, especially for drip. And he spoke about main 3 points, starting off with the design and complexity of how small and marginal farmers, or even sometimes the large farmers, face challenges in designing their field. Two, he spoke about the high cost which is involved, and the farmers have challenges in kind of adopting that based on the cost. Third was the return of interest on how farmers do not find tangible benefits, and maybe we'll have to walk them through. So what we have done as a startup is we have removed all these pain points away from the farmer, and we as a startup have created a mobile rain gun, which is the hose reel machine, which can work in a cluster. We train local rural youth on this machine, and we service a cluster of small and marginal farmers in a village. So what we identify is the crops that kind of need irrigation there in that area. We train the water entrepreneur, or the Jal Sevak as we locally call him, and we network with the farmers in that particular village and provide irrigation as a service, meaning the farmer need not understand what the irrigation technology does and what's going to be the design, because there is no design. It is like a movable irrigation system which can just go into the farm, give an irrigation for an acre or a hectare, and then he can move it away. Along with that, the entrepreneur or the Jal Sevak is also trained to locally look at the weather conditions, including rainfall, the soil moisture on ground. He's got a physical handheld device through which he monitors the moisture level on ground. And also we kind of run algorithms to create irrigation scheduling by farmer based on the cluster of the farmers that we have, 15, 20 farmers, say around 50 hectares that we kind of do in a village. We kind of run algorithms and create irrigation schedule by farmer. So all the pain points that we've discussed in the adoption of micro irrigation is taken away from the farmer. And we as a company, we kind of train our own internal rural youth to service this. So what this does is there is a stickiness to the farmer with the Jal Sevak being connected on ground. He is from the village. He knows these farmers well. And for the farmer to kind of adopt this technology also becomes easier. And we see that this is a very lucrative model for the farmer, because he has to pay only for the amount of water that we deliver on ground. Say it's per acre or per hour based on the areas that we kind of work in. We have this model where he just has to pay for the water. We need not pay for the other services like what we're doing in terms of measuring the rainfall, in terms of collecting soil information, in terms of GPS tracking on the field. The farmer need not pay for any of this. So all he does is pay for irrigation. And also, like the Didi spoke about, they are kind of spending too much of time earlier in collecting water, missing work and missing things. This machine, what it does is it kind of reduces the time. There is labor saving, and they're able to give irrigation for an acre of land in just a couple of hours. Based on the amount of water, it starts at 2 hours. So this kind of saves time for the farmer, and they're able to effectively utilize this in other areas of their life. So this is what we do in a nutshell.
So in how many states are you active? In which
Currently,
places
we're
are you
working
active?
in 6 states. We are in Maharashtra, primarily in the Wardha region. We are in MP. We are in Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh.
So how does it work? I mean, if you have this mobile irrigation unit, you station them in those particular areas, and
because it is kind of a farm equipment which can kind of be given to the Jal Sevaks. And also the other model that we can kind of do is once we give this farm machinery to the Jal Sevak, he in the village can kind of move it around with a tractor, and it can also be given a bank loan wherein your drip or the sprinkler, like how Kaushal said, cannot be, serviced on that model and the farmer has to pay outright. This has got 70% steel, the machine per se. So he can kind of take a bank loan, FPO or the FPCs also, along with the water entrepreneur. Sometimes we find, use that model as well. We kind of give them to them, and as a community, we are able to provide service to the farmer.
thank you, Suma. Thank you for coming here in such a short notice and explaining to us what you do. So, yeah. So I'd like to call upon Mr. Deodat Singh. He's the Director Operations PANI. PANI is People's Action for National Integration. And they are also working on a project of water saving and enhancing farmers' income. And I believe it is based on the community participation of women. So please tell us about your model.
Thank you, Anjana. Uh, uh, शुरुआत करने से पहले सभी को विश्व जल दिवस की बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। पानी पीपल्स एक्शन फॉर नेशनल इंटीग्रेशन कोर से ये बिलीव करता है कि किसी भी काम को करने के लिए पीपल्स एक्शन यानी लोक अभिक्रम की आवश्यकता है। और 2011 में पानी ने इस बात के ऊपर एक अध्ययन किया और ये पाया कि कुल जल के इस्तेमाल का करीबन 75% से ज्यादा सिर्फ कृषि में इस्तेमाल होता है। और इसी बात को ध्यान में रखते हुए पानी ने जल के ऊपर काम करना शुरू किया। और हमारी, क्योंकि ये सारा का सारा काम जो है वो गंगा के मैदानी भाग में है, तो यहाँ पे पानी की कोई ऐसी बहुत ज्यादा कमी नहीं है। लेकिन इसकी वजह से सारे किसान ये मानते हैं कि जल मेरी जमीन, मेरे जमीन के नीचे का पानी मेरा, मैं उसे चाहे जैसे इस्तेमाल करूं। तो हमारा उद्देश्य सिर्फ ये है कि हम जल को एक पब्लिक गुड की तरह इस्टेब्लिश करें और लोगों को उसके प्रति संवेदित करें कि वो कैसे जल का बचाव कर सकते हैं। क्योंकि हम इस बात में विश्वास करते हैं कि जल वहीं पे बचेगा जहां पे है। तो पानी अभी नीति आयोग एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स बलरामपुर, श्रावस्ती और सिद्धार्थ नगर के कुल 16 ब्लॉक्स में करीब करीब 450 ग्राम पंचायतों में जल केंद्रित काम कर रहा है। उसके अलावा एक गोंडा में 8 ब्लॉक्स में और काम कर रहा है। कुल 2,20,000 किसानों के साथ, महिला किसानों के साथ ये काम हो रहा है और वो सारी के सारे छोटे किसान। तो काम हम लोग सिर्फ 3 तरीके से करते हैं। पहला, समुदाय को जल के इस्तेमाल के लिए संवेदित करना, क्योंकि ये ऐसा क्षेत्र है जहाँ पे ज्यादातर जल का इस्तेमाल करने वाली फसलें होती हैं, जो कि गन्ना और धान और गेहूं, ये 3 फसलें प्रमुख हैं। तो सबसे पहले लोगों को इस बात के लिए संवेदित करना कि जल सबका है, ये एक पब्लिक गुड है और इसकी भी उपलब्धता हमेशा के लिए नहीं। हम जितना बैंक से निकालेंगे, अगर हम उतना जमा नहीं करेंगे तो हमारा स्रोत खत्म हो जाएगा। हमारी शुरुआत बस यहाँ से होती है। तो उनके साथ, किसानों के साथ वो जल के मुद्दों पे बातचीत करना, संगठन बनाना, महिलाओं का संगठन जिसे हम महिला किसान संगठन कहते हैं, और उन संगठनों को जल बचाने वाली प्रैक्टिसेस और टेक्नोलॉजीज की समझ देना, जो कि हम अपने कम्युनिटी रिसोर्स पर्सन के थ्रू करते हैं। सो हर ग्राम पंचायत में हमारी एक कम्युनिटी रिसोर्स पर्सन होती हैं, जो कि उसी गांव की महिला या बिटिया या बहू होती है, जो उसी गांव में सारे किसानों को संगठित करके वीडियो बेस्ड टेक्नोलॉजी और प्रैक्टिस डिसेमिनेशन का काम करती है और लोगों को उस तकनीकी को इस्तेमाल करने और उसको अडॉप्ट करने में मदद कर रही है। उन तकनीकियों को एडॉप्ट करने में अगर कोई परेशानी होती है तो हमारा तीसरा कार्यक्रम है जिसको हम फार्मर रिसोर्स सेंटर कहते हैं। हम इनपुट्स फार्मर रिसोर्स सेंटर के थ्रू उन किसानों को उपलब्ध कराते हैं जिससे कि वो टेक्नोलॉजी और प्रैक्टिस अडॉप्ट कर सकें। वाटर सेविंग टेक्नोलॉजीज और प्रैक्टिसेस सभी को पता है। अभी मिस्टर कौशल जायसवाल बता रहे थे ड्रिप इरिगेशन के बारे में, अभी मिस जोशी ने बताया रेन गन के बारे में। वो सारी टेक्नोलॉजीज और प्रैक्टिस टेक्नोलॉजीज, और उसके अलावा रिजर्व फरो मेथड, बेड पे सोइंग, फिर उसके बाद SRI, SWI, इंटेंसिफिकेशन ऑफ द क्रॉप और डायरेक्ट सीडेड राइस, इन सारी प्रैक्टिसेस को हम फार्मर के साथ अडॉप्ट कराते हैं। और करीब करीब 2 लाख से अधिक किसानों के साथ काम करते हुए हमने पिछले 4 सालों में 510 बिलियन लीटर पानी बचाया है, जो कि अश्योर्ड और ऑडिटेड है ENY के द्वारा। और ये सारा का सारा काम करने का सारा श्रेय जो जाता है वो CRPs को जाता है, जो कि CRPs अपने गांव में रह करके इस तरह के काम करती हैं। और अभी अगले 3 सालों में हमने ये लक्ष्य लिया है कि हम करीब करीब 600 बिलियन लीटर पानी और बचाने का हमने लक्ष्य लिया है, जो कि उत्तर प्रदेश में भी हम करने वाले हैं। तो मैं ब्रीफली बस इतना ही कहना चाहता था। अगर कोई आपका स्पेसिफिक प्रश्न हो तो मैं जरूर यहाँ पे उपलब्ध हूँ आपके प्रश्नों के जवाब देने के लिए।
थैंक यू दियो सर। आपके साथ हम कुछ CRPs भी इधर आए हैं।
जी जी।
तो आप प्लीज आप उनको इंट्रोड्यूस कर दे। मैं सिर्फ कोमल देवी जी को देख पा रही हूँ
हाँ,
सर।
कोमल और रेखा एक साथ हैं। कोमल, आप अपना अगर वीडियो ऑन कर पाए। ओके, मुझे लग रहा है उन्हें आवाज नहीं जा रही है। रेखा, आप सुन पा रही हैं? अभी मैं उन्हें कॉल करता हूँ।
नो दे आर कमिंग आई गेस। वो आ रहे हैं।
हाँ।
नमस्ते भैया।
नमस्ते।
मेरा नाम नीरू देवी, ग्राम पंचायत चारों काफरी, जिला
हाँ
बलरामपुर सदर में CRP बोल रही हूँ भैया। CRP के पद पे 4 साल से काम कर रही हूँ, जो अपने सदर ब्लॉक में है पानी संस्था। और मैं अपने गांव में ग्राम पंचायत स्तर पे किसानों के साथ कृषि से जुड़े हुए काम पे काम कर रहे हैं, जो हमारे पानी का ज्यादा उपयोग हो रहा था। जहां से हमारा पानी ज्यादा निकल रहा है भैया, हम वहीं से पानी को बचा सकते हैं। तो हम लोग कृषि से ही जुड़े अपने किसानों के साथ में, जैसे 4-6 फसल हमारी जो ऐसी हैं कि पानी ज्यादा यूज कर रही हैं। हमारा गन्ना है, गेहूं है, धान है, ये फसलें जो हमारी हैं ज्यादा पानी यूज कर रही हैं। तो हम लोग भैया इसमें अपने किसान के साथ में वीडियो के माध्यम से हम लोग वीडियो दिखाए, जो सत्यमेव जयते का वीडियो बना था। हम लोग अपने मोबाइल पीको पे अपने दीदियों को 10 से 15 महिलाओं को संगठित किए, छोटे छोटे संगठन बनाए। उसमें वीडियो के माध्यम से दीदी हम लोग अपने महिलाओं को बताएं कि अगर हम लोग पानी नहीं बचाएंगे, अपने जमीन से ऐसे निकाल निकाल के खर्च करेंगे, तो हमारा बैंक खाली हो जाएगा। फिर आने वाली भविष्य में हमारे कुछ नहीं बचेगा हम लोगों के लिए। तो कुछ किसान हमारे वीडियो देख के और हमारे जो हम लोग फसल कराते हैं उस पे हावी हुई कि हम लोग कैसे किया जाए कि हमारी पानी की बचत हो। और हम लोग और एक खेत में डबल फसल लगवाने की सोच की कि जैसे हम लोग गन्ना लगवाएं, अगर किसान नहीं मान रहे हैं तो 10 बीघे में 1 बीघे गन्ना लगाएं, उसके साथ में धीरे धीरे पोटैटो की खेती कराया जाए। और गन्ने में मल्चिंग, हम लोग मल्चिंग करवा के पानी का बचत कराएंगे। हम लोग धान की बुवाई किसान तो छोड़ नहीं सकते हैं दीदी, करेंगे नहीं तो खाएंगे क्या। लेकिन हम लोग अपने पानी संस्था के द्वारा DSR, जो हम लोग धान की सीधी बुवाई के माध्यम से धान की बचाने की कोशिश की।
उससे भी हमारी 20 से 25-30% पानी बच ही जाता है। और हम लोग मचान सब्जी की खेती में दीदी मचान के द्वारा खेती कराना सोचे कि जो हमारी साल भर में एक ही खेत में 4 फसल देंगी। पहले प्याज, फिर ऊपर लौकी रहेगी। दूसरे सीजन में हम लोग ये सूरन और करेले, उसमें भी हमारा पानी कम लगेगा और हमारी किसान की लागत भी कम लगेगी और फायदा भी मिलेगा और हमारे पानी का सीधे बचत भी होगा। और तीसरा हम लोग का दीदी पानी बचाने का सुविधा ये हो गया कि हम लोग सरकारी योजना पहले नहीं जान पाते थे, हमारी संस्था हम लोग को बताती। हम लोग स्प्रिंकलर, ड्रिप, सोलर, इस सब के माध्यम से अपने किसान के पानी की बचत करवाएं। और चौथे मुद्दे में जो हमारे लोग के सरकारी तालाब हैं, अपने खुद का तालाब है, जो तालाब हमारा पट जाता है, वर्षा पानी का जल एकत्रित नहीं बचता है, उसके लिए हम लोग धीरे धीरे संगठन के महिलाओं के द्वारा अपना प्रधान से, अपने सरकारी विभागों से जुड़ के और उसका नवीनीकरण करवा लेते हैं ताकि हमारे वर्षा का जल एकत्रित बच सके। हम लोग के किसान धीरे धीरे पानी से बहुत लगाव रख लिए हैं और हम लोग के पानी अच्छे से हमारे सदर में बचता है। जैसे हम लोग बैंक के पैसे को जोगाते हैं, वैसे हमारे किसान अब सोचने लगे हैं कि हम लोग को उतना ही महत्वपूर्ण पानी को बचाना है।
थैंक यू कोमल, थैंक यू वेरी मच, थैंक यू। आपका अंजना?
भैया मैं नीरू देवी बोल रही हूँ। कोमल की आईडी से ही।
हाँ, कोमल की आईडी से नीरू देवी बोल रही है। थैंक यू नीरू देवी। अच्छा लगा आपके मुंह से डीएसआर और मल्चिंग सब कुछ सुनकर। मैगजीन में जब मैं काम करती हूँ तो मुझे ऐसा लगता था कि सिर्फ डीएसआर मल्चिंग सिर्फ लिखने पे होता है, ऐसा फील्ड लेवल में कुछ नहीं होता है। पर जिस तरीके से आपने हमको समझाया कि ये जो जितनी तरीके से आप पानी को बचा रही है, तो अच्छा लगा। एंड थैंक यू फॉर डूइंग दैट, थैंक यू फॉर डूइंग दैट।
ओपन नहीं हो रहा है।
हाँ कोई बात नहीं कोमल, आप बोल सकती हैं प्लीज।
गुड आफ्टरनून सर।
गुड आफ्टरनून
सर, जैसे हम पानी संस्थान से सीआरपी के पोस्ट पे काम कर रहे हैं। हमारा नाम कोमल चौहान है और हमारा ग्राम पंचायत बालपुर है। हम लोग मतलब पानी की बचत के बेस पे काम करते हैं, जैसे कि जिसे हमारा उद्देश्य है पानी को आधा करना और आमदनी को दुगना करना। तो हम लोग जैसे मतलब ग्राम पंचायत में जैसे जो जो गांव होते हैं उसमें महिलाओं का संगठन बना के काम करते हैं। और जैसे क्रॉप लगाते हैं, जैसे कि धान के टाइम में जैसे नई नई तकनीक से मतलब नई नई तकनीक से फसल लगवाते हैं, जैसे कि धान के टाइम में डीएसआर हो गया और एसआरआई हो गया, एसएसपी हो गया। तो अगर डीएसआर से हम लोग डीएसआर लगवाते हैं तो धान इससे मतलब डीएसआर लगवाते हैं तो इसकी सीधी बुआई होती है और इसमें 2 से 3 पानी की बचत होती है। और इसमें नर्सरी नहीं डालना पड़ता है, उससे पानी की बचत होती है। रोपाई के टाइम मतलब उस पानी की बचत होती है। इसमें हम लोग डायरेक्टली उसी में मतलब सीधी इसकी बुआई करवा देते हैं बीज डाल के एक साथ ही। और हम लोग सहफसली करवाते हैं। तो सहफसली में जैसे गन्ने के साथ अगर हम लोग उड़द लगवाते हैं और गन्ने के साथ मूंगफली लगवा देते हैं तो इससे भी पानी की बचत होती है। इसमें एक ही पानी में दोनों फसल तैयार हो जाते हैं। और हम लोग सब्जी जैसे लगवाते हैं तो सब्जी में मचान लगवाते हैं। तो जब मचान लगवाते हैं तो मचान में एक ही मतलब पानी में 2 फसल लगाए जाते हैं। जैसे कि एक मौसम जैसे कि लौकी के साथ प्याज लगवाते हैं और सूरन के साथ करेला लगवाते हैं। तो इससे एक ही खाद में एक ही पानी में मतलब डबल फसल तैयार हो जाती है। ओके, थैंक यू सर।
थैंक यू कोमल, थैंक यू।
थैंक यू कोमल, थैंक यू कोमल। आपका काम जो है बहुत अच्छा हो रहा है एंड थैंक यू फॉर जॉइनिंग अस। Now I would like to request Mr. Deepak Parekh. a widely traveled person. Sorry, hi. So, a widely traveled person, somebody who has met a lot of people from farmers to entrepreneurs and everybody. So, in during your meetings and everything, so have you met somebody who is doing a water conservation? What is your general perspective about water conservation? How far on the field, what is happening?
Yeah, sure. Thanks a lot, Anjana ji. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah. So see, actually, like, whenever we talk about water, so like, when you meet diverse type of people, specifically you meet people from the business community, you meet people from the farming community, the policy maker. Everybody talks about like water stress because like, you and me, we live every day and we find like, unfortunately, if you are in Chennai, if you are in Bangalore, we know the water, the implication are far more than maybe you are living in Delhi and Mumbai, where the water availability for the urban class is a little bit better. Now, challenge is that when we talk about the conservation of water, we always miss a very important point here that conservation by practices can only go to certain extent because actual like the saving of water which is required, it needs far more concentrated effort than what we are doing today. And we have to understand that agriculture is both, in fact, a culprit and victim of climate change, because we know that close to 24% of greenhouse gases is because of agriculture. At the same time, we are also like, agriculture is using close to 70% of fresh groundwater. But these challenges are making it like, very important that we try to address the challenge of sustainability of agriculture in a very different way and very technical and scientific manner. I totally agree. Like, the policy changes are required. For example, like, Kashalji talked about, like, you give free electricity and free water. So, like, farmers are definitely gonna, like, withdraw every possible drop out of it. And we are seeing those challenges happening in Haryana and Punjab, where water tables have gone down substantially. Now, definitely, we also had some discussion about various technologies of conservation as well as how to reduce the use of water in agriculture. Now, we miss a very important point here. Until unless you have technology intervention, it is very difficult to like solve this problem. And this problem is far more deeper when we talk about Africa and Asia. For a very simple reason is that when we talk about like total availability of water in percentage of total availability of water globally and total population of these regions, specifically Africa and Asia, that number is like skewed very much against us. So we have to be more also that conventional agriculture need to save far more water in these region than other part of world because you cannot export water. Unfortunately, like we do export water. So when you export sugar, you are exporting water. When you export rice, you are exporting the water. While Europe and North America and South America, when you see again the ratio between the population is to availability of water globally, they are at very decent condition than Africa and Asia. And these are the continent actually which are exporting a lot of water through the commodities which we produce. Now, when we talk about, as you rightly said, like interaction with the farmers, believe me, like, very few farmers, especially in Africa and Asia, they have financial capability of even having a move towards a more conservative agriculture where, like, you can conserve water. They don't have those availability of capital, right, to move there. For a very simple reason, like, drip irrigation costs a lot of money. And how many farmers in Southeast Asia, in India or in Africa can afford those type of technology. And at the same time, the governments in these geographies are also not having sufficient also that war chest where they can roll out all these solutions at their cost. So you'll find that like, also that the awareness is there among the farmers that let's conserve water because eventually it is gonna uh, be problematic for them. But at the same time, are they motivated? Because they live for the next 5 years. They are not living for next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. And is society supporting them? My answer, I'm sorry to say that actually, like, no. Even in the urban people, like, the amount of water which we use for all the other activities, from brushing our teeth to our toilets, we know actually we like, waste a lot of water. And when I go to a farmer and tell him that actually, like, hey, you should be saving far more water by like changing your practices, then he'll ask me a simple question that आप शहर वाले क्या कर रहे हो, right? कि आप वाटर सेव कर रहे हो, मेरा पानी आप ले जाना चाहते हो, because see this is what has happened in Bangalore, right? They are taking away water from the fields and they are giving it to urban centers like Bangalore. And this is where I believe, like, the lot needs to be thought about how the technologies can be used to understand the usage of water, to understand actually, like, the projections of our needs. And in fact, if you ask me, like, going forward, already we are having 3 billion people which are living in water stress currently. That number is going to increase every year by like 5 to 8% at CAGR. Now that's very, very alarming. So I believe, like, all of us, we need to, like, think about it. And believe me, like, when I was in COP28 in Dubai also, you talked about agriculture, you talked about how, like, agriculture is made more sustainable. But at the same time, are we all thinking alike? Is there a movement of saving water in agriculture? I would say no, right? Still, like, we believe it is a crisis for the next generation, not for us.
Thank you, Deepak ji. I think what you said is right. There is no particular movement happening in agriculture in terms of water conservation. There are no policies as such that could cap the amount of water a person or particular, even though we are actually using a lot of water in agriculture. And we preach about optimizing water use. And as you said, technology will play a very important part in helping us conserve water. So speaking about technology, we have with us Bhavna Mallesh. She's the co-founder and CMO of Cultivate. So Bhavna, are you there? Bhavna, am I audible?
Yeah, Janaji, you're audible.
Yeah, Bhavna was there, so I guess. Yeah, Bhavna, can you speak now? I mean, you're there, right? So Bhavna works in IoT, that is Internet of Things and precision technology, and we know that it is basically for resource optimization. And on World Water Day, we can think about resource optimization, so water optimization through the technologies Bhavna's organization is doing, Cultivate, I suppose. And Bhavna, please let us know about what are the activities that that your organization is doing in this domain, and they have also got the first patent for IoT enabled AWD solution, that is alternate wetting and drying solution for paddy farming. Bhavna, are you able to switch on the audio and video? There's some problem, some technical problem on her end, or is it on our end? So we have got time. She'll just be, logging in again. There is some problem with her audio and video. I hope I have covered everyone. So if I've left out somebody,
Anjana, just small intervention, because, like, till the Bhavna comes in, because this is a very important topic, and I don't want your audience to miss about it. See, the Internet of Things is important in agriculture because it enables the smart irrigation. So when we talk about, like, the productivity, it is just not that, like, under irrigation leads to low productivity. It is also over irrigation which leads to loss of productivity. And IoT solutions plays a very important role because they are able to do a lot of things. For example, understanding your soil itself. So what is the soil moisture content? What is the evaporation which is happening from that, like, your farm? And based on that, it is able to give you a calculation of what is the exactly amount of water you need. So drip irrigation is fine, like, it ensures that you don't waste water. But at the same time, if you know exactly how much water needs to be given to, for example, a specific crop in a specific methodology, like alternative wet and drying in rice, how much exactly water should be given. And these type of calculation, like, through the sensors, it happens in, like, IoT, where this data is sent to the cloud, which processes and tells you, like, exactly how much water. And using, again, automation walls, you are able to do that. Second very important part, which is, again, I'm saying a technology taking to next level, is where there are IoTs which are put on the perennial crop itself, on the trunks itself. So the plant tells you, like, I need water. So water only get triggered actually when the plant asks for water. For example, you and me, right? It's not that actually, like, in the morning we drink 3 liters of water and whole day we are okay, right? So whenever we feel like we need more water, right? Similarly, plant are also having their own mechanism of where which they say that they need water. And again, sensors are able to, like, tell you on every plant basis how much water is required, and specifically for the orchids crop, like when we talk about apples or mango, these technologies can play a very vital role, both to increase yields, productivity, and at the same time also reduce the reliance of water. So that was only limited intervention I wanted to do.
Thank you, Deepak ji. We are still having some problem. I guess we are looking from our end for that. But in case if any, okay, just a second. Are you able to unmute? So in the meantime, Bhavna comes in. Does anybody want to? Yeah, I think Bhavna. Bhavna.
I think she is having the same issue which I
Yeah,
had.
yeah,
So
I think so.
so
But I think she's made the co-host, so I think she won't be have a problem now.
I think now
We
she is
have,
connecting back.
yeah, I think she's connecting back. So in the yeah, she's connecting.
Sanjana, are we through
Yeah,
or
yes.
we have to stay back?
Yes, Bhavna is still there to talk. She's just come. Welcome, Bhavna.
You are on mute.
You are on mute.
Yeah, hi.
Yes. Hi.
I just want to make I'm switching off my.
Yeah, okay.
You can talk?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, sorry about that. Very strangely,
But a very grand entry. We all were waiting for you.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was really very helpful, very useful, enlightening to hear all the other members speaking on different aspects. I'm primarily going to speak in English, but if you may play a video, it's less than a minute. It will help because we have our farmers speaking there who are our end users, and this will probably help the others understand. I'll just send you the video link and then continue if that's fine with you.
Yeah, you have sent me the video link.
Yeah, I just sent it to.
You here in the chat box or?
Let me just send it to you on the chat.
I guess you can do. You are the co-host, so it won't be a problem for you to play the video, to share the screen or something.
No, because I'm on my phone.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, because I'm on my phone. So let me just start from the beginning.
Just one. Anilji, can you just play it? When should we play it? After you speak?
I'll just talk for a few seconds and then we'll play at the context. So really thank you, Anjana, for this opportunity, and I have a great time listening to everybody, including all the Didis who are doing a lot of things with conservation of water. So I think they're already playing the video.
Anilji, I think we can stop. After she speaks, we can play the video. Now we can pause it.
Yeah. So I co-founded Cultivate with Malish, the CEO, in 2016. Our backgrounds were all tech. And a lot of people here, Mr. Kaushal, Mr. Deepak, they all spoke about how there's a need for technology intervention in agriculture. We came from other industry, but we realized what is the benefit that technology can bring in. Rightly, there are a lot of challenges of adoption of technology for our smallholder farmers. There's cost, there's so many other things that we need to handle. So the problem, obviously, there are two problems: food security, water security. Both of these are global problems. I think all of you have spoken about that. We are an agri-tech where we are using IoT, artificial intelligence, and machine learning models to optimize irrigation, basically to provide precision irrigation so that the requisite analytics can be given to the farmers, on their feature phone or on their, smartphone if some of them can afford it. Okay, so that's the main thing. Today, our customer or our client are businesses because of the same challenge about, affordability that's there with farmers. We are doing a lot. We are working with NGOs like CIPT in Punjab, who are trying to get farmers to understand the need for them to adopt. While yes, maybe electricity is free, water is free, it's going to, all deplete, and we're going to run out of it if they also don't participate. Okay. So with this as the background, I will ask you to play the video, because that will tell what space we are really in. But I think even the audio should be heard. Whoever is playing it should make sure that the audio is also available. Please play the video. It's a very short video.
Anilji, you can play the video, and we need the sound as well. We can't hear the audio. Maybe it's on mute your end. Yeah, I think. Still, we can't hear the audio.
Can I try to play it on my phone? I don't know whether that will work.
Yeah, you can try playing on your phone.
How do I share it on my phone? Okay.
Let me see from my end if I can do that. Yeah, you're sharing it.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. Let me know if you can hear it now.
Yeah, we can hear it.
Punjab's distinction of being the highest producer of rice in the country has come at a huge cost. Water tables in the state have fallen dramatically as farmers need large quantities of groundwater to grow rice. Cultivate developed a static sensor that measures soil moisture level and sends data in real time every 30 minutes to cloud servers. When moisture levels drop in the soil, the farmer receives a message to irrigate his fields. Once soil moisture reaches the appropriate level, another message goes to the farmer to stop his pump. This precise advice to farmers allows them to let fields dry up and flood alternatively, thus saving 50% of water.
ਇੱਕ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡਾ ਡੀਜ਼ਲ ਦੀ ਬਚਤ ਆ ਜੀ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜੀ 200 ਲੀਟਰ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦਾ 1 ਏਕੜ ਦਾ 1 ਕਿੱਲੇ ਦਾ ਜੀ। ਹੁਣ ਸਾਡਾ 20-25 ਲੀਟਰ ਦਾ ਸੀਜ਼ਨ 'ਚ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ। ਪਾਣੀ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਚਤ ਆ ਜੀ, ਡੀਜ਼ਲ ਦੀ ਬਚਤ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਜੀ ਬਚਤ ਆ ਸਾਨੂੰ।
ਮੁੜ ਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੋਰ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਲੈਨੇ, ਘਾਹ ਕੱਢ ਲਿਆ ਜਾਂ ਵੱਟਾਂ ਵੱਢ ਲਈਆਂ, ਖਾਦ ਪਾ ਲਈ, ਹਰ ਟਾਈਮ ਬੱਚਤ ਹੋ ਗਈ, ਪਾਣੀ ਦੀ ਬੱਚਤ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਤੇ ਫਸਲ ਵੀ ਵਧੀਆ ਹੋਈ ਸਾਡੀ।
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I hope that was clear. So
Yes, it was.
So we are having a full stack tech solutions, which I think Kaushal ji talked about it, saying there's flood irrigation happening. So we have a patented AWD technology which helps even in flood irrigation. So the farmers in Punjab, UP, MP, even Telangana, they are and in Kerala as well, they are able to use our technology and save 50% water as part of one cycle of crop that they use. In addition to that, they have realized over time, because our farmers are, we have been working with them for 4 years. They have realized, because they're giving precision water, only as much as the crop demands, they are able to reduce the number of fungicide sprays that they are putting. So which is good for their health, and also they are saving money. They are reducing the electricity to run wherever they're using, the diesel and so on. So you heard the farmers speaking about it. They have time to spend on other activities. Okay, so this is only on the flood irrigated side of things. Rice is a huge crop that is being grown both in India, Southeast Asia, and several other countries. So and the best part is we are also addressing climate change, because we have shown results that there is a reduction about at least 40% of greenhouse gases by using technology with the whole alternate wetting and drying methodology that's followed. So just wanted to highlight that. Additionally, we are also working with water guzzling crops like sugarcane. There we have a different kind of sensor. And Mr. Kaushal talked about, micro irrigation is required. But once you have that, you still need to provide precision irrigation in order to increase the yield and manage all the other things that you want to manage with regards to crop. Because crops are like us human beings. You don't need to abuse, what you eat, what you drink, and everything. So long as you do things in an optimal manner, we are performing best. It's the same with crops. We have a full stack tech which is also working with horticulture crops, whether it is the Nagpur oranges. We are also working with banana farmers and so on. So this is the space that we are in. We have started, since we have been in commercial mode for the last 4 years. Our results have been audited. We have shown proof to our end customers, who are the farmers, because they stayed with us, whoever has started with us. Today, our client is a business, whether it is ITC, whether it is Bayer, and so on. So there is a need, obviously, of, I think before me, people had talked about the policies to incentivize farmer also to save on all these inputs, save on water. So this is broadly what we are doing, and what is the impact that we are bringing in. We have saved close to 4 billion liters of water so far, which is the audited results. And this year we would be touching about 50,000 farmers. We also have listed the first carbon program on the gold standard, and we are hoping that with the carbon credit, this is also going to incentivize farmers to adopt technology and save on scarce water resources.
Thank you, Bhavna. Thank you, Bhavna, for the wonderful presentation, and how to showing us how cultivate is helping conserve more water. And today it has been a great day, because we heard a lot of stories about how water is being conserved, how many liters of water, a billion liters of water that has been saved. Now I would like to call Vinita Singh. She is a Senior Manager, Agriculture Today Group. She would be saying the vote of thanks.
Thank you all on behalf of Agriculture Today Group. It was really a pleasure to delve into the scenarios of irrigation, which is there globally as well as nationally. Irrigation is one of the crucial aspect of agriculture. However, it is the least talked about, but it's great that we extended this platform and we could get some important players on board to discuss about the challenges and the potential solutions. And a special thanks to the inspiring farmers who joined us from Pani as well as from Parmath Foundation. It was great hearing the story of the foundation and how they are making a change. As well as it was a pleasure listening to Bhavna how IoT is coming into the irrigation part as well, and how we can revolutionize the irrigation part. Thank you all, and we hope we would be able to bring something meaningful out of it, and it would lead to something better. And in next 5 years, we together will hopefully change the scenario of agriculture, at least in India. Thank you.
Thank you, Vinita, and thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.